going to go off to face them for the final spot, or the first spot rather, in the Summit 4. And already up 1-0, Digital Chaos looking to take it. We'll see if their game plan ends up suiting the game flow and if they're able to take this one. Certainly excited. Here we go, taking champion.
Prepare,
and we're going to get ourselves all ready to go here. So first off, for HCWP, we have Demon, who's going to be playing on the Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, Mason is going to be playing that Axe. We do have Bleak on the Dazzle. Fogged is going to be playing the Undying. And last but not least, Justin on the Templar Assassin. For DC, we do have Biryu, who's going to be playing the Winter Wyvern, as well as Yawar, who's going to be on the Ember Spirit. Moving over to the other side is going to be Bulba on the Spirit Breaker. Aoi 2000 playing his Tusk. And last but not least, AC is going to be in the Wind Ranger. So all kinds of craziness at the very start with what these lanes are going to be looking like. I hope that this is all looking hunky-dory and absolutely wonderful for all you fine folks out there. Trying my very best to work with what Dota 2 Reborn has given me. I promise you my frame rates were not this terrible before this patch ended up coming out, but now starting to make it work. Dota 2, it's going to commence. Jimmy Quap, always a pleasure. All right. See, this is the thing. Like, I love the casual banter that goes on between the two sides, because like it's really great to be able to sort of have these the teams that know each other well. They're able to banter. They're able to not get super offended when the stuff goes down. Obviously, if there are things that people get upset about, it's just one of those things that ends up happening. Ooh, could have potentially changed there. Is going to be able to hit the ice shards and the blink away, not wanting to get too fresh or fantastical. Our assassin gets the bounty rune, as does the Ember Spirit. Mid lane matchup. TA up against the Ember with what looks to be safe lane Spirit Breaker, off lane Wind Ranger Tusk. Very, very interesting. So the early aggression coming on out looks like Yawar should be able to have a perfectly fine time and is going to be able to at least bully on out this Templar Assassin at the early stage. We'll see if that's able to continue as this goes on, but I think the big story here is going to be this bottom lane. I'm imagining that Spirit Breaker is just going to try his best to soak up levels so that way he can roam, and Biryu is going to be the sacrificial lamb instead of the sacrificial cow to make sure that they have a good time here. I'm going to do my best, but I'm telling you guys, this one, I'm expecting it to be action-packed, so hopefully we don't end up missing 2 kills. With all of these melee heroes also, this stuff happens so quickly in all of these lanes. Speaking of which, Demon Red Bull almost getting taken out there. Biryu again gonna get chased on over by Fogged as well as Bleak. More right clicks, but the creep wave might be able to dissuade the Undying from diving too deep. Mason now comfortable on the Axe, gonna move forward and cut this creep wave. This tower could probably fall within roughly 5 minutes if they're not careful. Probably less than that, honestly. They're just going to keep applying pressure to it, and Spirit Breaker is going to do his very best with the Stout Shield, but at a certain point in time, you end up getting your W up on the Axe relatively soon here, and you're going to end up having a very, very difficult time indeed. Bulbo hoping to pull this over. Is he going to pull this all the way to the mid lane? Is this actually what's going to happen right now? If he ends up making that work, that is spectacular. You get a whole extra lane of creep experience for your mid laner. Oh god, what a play. I think that's what he's actually doing this whole time. Hopefully going to be able to get the creeps. I don't even know. Okay, he's bringing them back again. They're still going to fight some more. Grand Theft creeps apparently is what's happening, and gonna pull the aggro with the neutrals. This is some weird ass stuff going on. Malarkey abound, and it looks like he's also going to get clapped at one time, because why not? So a little bit of extra not pressure added onto the tower, but Axe is going to keep creep skipping here. So over and over again, just more damage being dealt. There's a couple more right clicks. Might be able to catch Justin here. He's in trouble. He's going to fall. And First Blood going the way of the Ember Spirit, making sure to even get the last hit for posterity. That's how quickly those things can happen. While this bottom lane continues to just sit in shambles, Mason's already picked on up his Tranquil Boots at about 2 minutes in, and he's going to be content to keep doing it. Like, this lane is so disgusting to face against. They need more ranged heroes to be able to deal with it, but right now, considering you've got the Spirit Breaker and the Tusk, the Winter Wyvern isn't going to be able to harass this away. What a great last pick Axe.
Radiant's bottom
I think that this could potentially be game winning depending upon how it goes. You are, again, getting chased on over. Soul Rip out for Justice. Axe is comfortable doing this, and like I was saying, 3 minutes to 5 minutes, this tower is going to end up falling. Looking for the last hit here. Does Biryu end up getting it? Space Cow is here as well. There's the last hit for the Axe. And bottom tower ends up falling at 3 minutes in, roughly. Justin taking a little bit more harassment here. The Undying in the area. This is going to make sure that he's able to get some more of this farm that he desperately wants. Haven't really touched much on the top lane. Demon just staying safe. Shackle ends up connecting Snowball, but the blink away. And that's the power of this hero, the ability to make sure you don't end up getting caught out. And even though the Spirit Breaker's in this game, he hasn't been able to really move away from the pressure that's been applied here. And like, you can't apply the same amount of pressure with a Wind Ranger that you can with an Axe. It's just not going to happen. Depending upon how this goes, like, he can start taking out their jungle now, and this is going to be a Blink Dagger, potentially pre-10 minutes. Based off of how well they're able to really make this happen. Like right now, Bleak is pulling in the enemy jungle, is going to be able to make this happen. The creep wave is going to be pushed on out, and Bulba is just going to have to sit here and alarm as he's only able to soak up levels. Only level 2 right now. 35 last hits for Axe. Net worth 2,600 levels. He's level 5 as well. Mid lane, are they going to be able to get this kill here? Does look like the jump forward. Justin taking a lot of harassment, but staying alive at the end. Fog's coming in with the tombstone. Going to turn this one back around. Looks like they want to go for this one. Not quite able to hit the soul up, out of mana. Didn't want to pop the mango. Splinter Blast. Spirit Breaker charged in, but is going to have to cancel that one.
Denied.
All right, and TC yet again. Very, very comfortable. Boots on up, the boots and the poor man's shield for the Ember Spirit and the Templar Assassin. And Mason moving on in yet again. He's got roughly a little bit under the Blink Dagger amount. He's wanting to be able to pick that up pretty soon here. Why not bash on the creep? Alright, YS level 6. Hasn't taken any points in Sleight of Fist yet. No real surprise there. Wants to be able to make sure he maxes out his damage, considering the TA is going to be all up in his face. He's going to have to use the remnants for the initiation purposes. Oh, Bleak, and again in the area. It looks like Biryu might have spotted out that ward placement. Potentially not though. YS is here. Well, they're going to move on down. Pull out a little bit more damage. DC taking some more from the Battle Hunger. Back in the mid lane, Yawar. Do whatever he can here. As Justin picks on up the Invis Rune, this might be a point where they can make something happen here. I love to hear Tusk talking. It's honestly really funny. Okay. How do they turn this one back around for DC at this point? Like, they're clearly up ahead in terms of the kills. 1,500 gold swing is what we're looking at, though, and HCWP are ahead in terms of the actual situation of the game, because Axe can keep on pressuring this lane. They need to be able to get some more farm up on this Wind Ranger. She needs to be able to make her presence felt. The problem is that, you know, Demon's going for this maxed out builded Scream of Pain, and I think that now you're kind of running right on into the yet again. There's the Invaders popped out, but they're able to spot him. Charge on in is going to hit. The Shallow Grave keeping him alive. Really nice play there. Dazzle keeping alive your TA exactly when you needed to have it happen. Now Fog just going to try and keep whatever little bit he can. Now he's going to end up going down here, it looks like. Tombstone does drop. Maybe going to be able to turn this one back around. Mason is here as well. There's the jump forward. The shards are going to create that little bit of separation that they needed. They're going to snowball away for victory. Nicely done there by Aoi to keep his buddy YS alive. Is it going to be enough, though? It looks like the TA trap is going to pop. Still chasing after Yawar. Aoi is dropping low. Doesn't have any mana. Only boots as well as the smoke, which isn't going to help him now. They're still chasing. Call is up. They are going to be able to hit that one and destroyed. This is going to be Aoi. Very nicely done to finish him off there. Okay, and top lane now. Still not a whole heck of a lot, but you see this consistently. Mason's going to be able to keep this lane pushed on out. Oh, maybe Yawar finds a catch here. He does have the chains back up. Is going to catch on to Mason. This would be a huge kill if they're able to make it happen, but we do still have Dazzle in the area. Grade comes out, pin him a line, and no amount of little chip damage is going to be enough to take down that axe. He is just so tanky right now. Does have his Blink Dagger finished off, and meanwhile, up in the top lane, DD up on the Quap. Might be able to find Owie here. Should notice that DD is there and does not want to fight into this, but with the Wind Ranger, maybe they do. Shackle down, waiting on the snowball to make sure that they stack out the stuns perfectly. Blink away, though. Last second, nicely done by Demon. Isn't going to die to the Orb of Venom either, because that deals just no damage. And able to make his way out of there. Really, really well done. It looks like High Council is in a better spot right now. They are really, really able to make their presence felt all over this map with this Blink Dagger up on the Tusk, as well as having the TA starting to really hit her stride. Treads up, as is the Bottle. Probably going to be building into a Desto relatively soon. She doesn't need to be able to have that catch because Mason has it with the axe. And if Pain activates DD, waiting up top to see if she can find somebody, Malik just continues to hit away at Yawara over here on the side. Alright, Fogged Tombstone level 2, only level 4 on the Undying, considering the Axe been taking the lion's share of the farm. He hasn't really been able to get as much as he would want, but still pretty comfortable. Let's take a look at levels real quick. The Wind Ranger has been able to hit all the way up to level 8. We do have level 7 across the board, except for the Spirit Breaker. Mid lane, again, they're trying to get a little bit more on this Dazzle so that way they can get the weave up. But the other thing to keep in mind about this lineup is when do they go for Roshan? I mean, Dazzle is starting to build towards... It looks like he's not going to be able to get a medallion anytime soon. He is pretty poor. I don't think that you want to get it on the Axe either. Doesn't really make sense, although he is the one who's going to be able to get a lot of gold in these engagements and while pushing down the towers. The other thing here is that since that first tower, they really haven't been able to find that next one yet. They do have the heal bomb combo with the jump forward and also being able to dole out a lot with the TA, but it looks like they really want to play this one safe. Again, the winner of this ones will go on to face Root Gaming in the next match, the next round. Mason pretty good. Oh. 3 heroes grouped up. Do we have a smoke ready to come on out? It does look like Owie has one. Do they want to go for this, though? That's the real question. Axe is still in the area, able to blink forward. Connects on to Biryu. This is a lot of damage being doled out very quickly. Battle Hunger down. He ends up falling. That's not the person that you want to have start the fight and get chased down. Ember Spirit going back on into it. Justin is dealing a lot of damage right now, though. And Bleak in the area, as well as being able to keep this Tombstone alive. That actually does end up falling by TC. Nicely done there. Do they have any more? Blink Dagger does get disabled by TC, and they're going to have the jump again in a second. But the Shackle latches, as well as the chains, and that kept them alive right there, I think. The fact that they only lost the Winter Wyvern, I think, is very, very telling. And if you remember a couple of, about, what was that, 7 minutes ago, I said that this was going to be a very action-packed match. We're 11 minutes into it, there's only been 3 kills, so what the heck do I know? I think it's just showing that DC is really playing to their strengths. They don't want to go on in and fight this Axe this early with all of the quick damage that can be dealt out. They really can't afford to take a bad team fight, because as soon as they start to take bad team fights, all of their potential to catch back up in these engagements is lost. It is still a 4,500 gold lead into the favor of HCWP, as well as 3,000 EXP. Demon's still trying to dodge away from this. There is the Shackle, though. The stun coming in one more time, and that's going to end up being a kill finally with another strike coming in from Bulba. So that is a kill that they desperately needed. One of the four that have been taking place this game so far. 900 gold swing, 800 EXP as well. And maybe, just maybe, a couple of shreds of hope coming out for DC. They are able to take down that top tier 1 tower of the Dire. You have Mason here with his Mango. Super duper value. Templar Assassin getting closer and closer to that Desolator. Once that ends up coming up, you're going to be in a bit of a rough spot. End up running it back, not seeing anybody on the map, doesn't want to end up potentially giving away his life. That Ember Spirit, where you are. Okay. Given this lineup, we need a Blink Dagger or something up on this Wind Ranger. Did opt to go for the point booster first. I think this makes a lot of sense. I don't know if she's going to be going back for the point or for the rest of the Aghanims, or just going to try and pick up the Blink Dagger, because you're sort of playing it two different ways. If they keep playing the same game that they're doing right now, as this TA takes the Ancients to finish off her Deso probably, you have to look for pickoffs as the Wind Ranger, which is going to be your main point or your main job. And if you're able to do that, the main thing you would want to do is blink forward, hit a shackle onto somebody like Axe, and then immediately focus fire. And if that's the case, you don't necessarily need an Aghanim Scepter. But if you want to try and go for the more team fighty build because you expect that they're going to be knocking on your front door very quickly, then you go for the Aghanim Scepter, so that way you can get off multiple focus fires throughout the course of an engagement. And I think that probably it's going to initiation could come shortly. They are going to be able to have the Spirit Breaker find on out Fog, though. There's the jump forward, actually able to interrupt the call. Nicely done. That Bulba might have saved his life, but I think he's still going to end up falling. Looks to be going down very quickly, looking for the chop, and Queen of Pain actually takes away that kill. Not going to give it to the Axe. You are cutting the creep wave again. It's going to be perfectly fine here, as long as they don't end up getting the call. Yeah, it should be good. He's just trying to get everything that he possibly can in terms of his farm. They do end up finding him. Fogs do. Whew, that call was close. Is going to be able to TP away from this one. Thankfully making his way out of there, and the TP boots are going to be finished off now as well. Alright, Soul Ring up on Biryu. We also do have on Yawar the Boots of Travel. Howie 2000 sit comfortably. Just the dust, or the smoke. Hasn't really had to do a whole heck of a lot so far. He's had a couple of big plays in terms of making sure that he catches people out. There's the Mango Eaton, might be looking for TC, not going to be able to find it. Is going for that Vanguard though. That Ring of Health picked up. Not a ton of item progression around here. To be building into an Orchid there on the Queen of Pain, but not being able to spot this out is going to mean that HCWP is going to pick on up an Aegis, putting it on the TA. She has her Desolator. Well, 700 gold on top of that. Nice little ward here is going to be able to spot this out. Both of these heroes. Do they actually find this Axe now? Bulba's going to be able to charge immediately. Does he get the vision? Does have it earned down. Don't want to go for it. That's not the hero that you want to engage on. Axe is perfectly happy to turn back around on you, just tear you apart. Alright, Owie in the area. They do end up spotting him. There's the blink call, and Owie's going to fall again. Look at that damage. Meld Strike. It almost was a one-shot. And that's against a Tusk. Like, obviously the Tusk only level 6, doesn't have a ton of HP or a ton of other items. Like, right now, literally all he has is a magic stick. But still, that damage is unreal that's coming out from Justin, and going to be able to take towers relatively soon as well. DD up on the Quap, as well as working on that Orchid, as I mentioned. Ember Spirit really doesn't want to have to go for a Manta in this game. And considering how far ahead right now HCWP are, it's looking like he might not even be able to farm that, because if he has to go back for a Manta now, he's really not going to be able to come online with damage for a long time. Alright, does end up hitting there with the shotgun. Wanted to go for the turnaround, but the Sonic Wave, the Winter's Curse on top of Mason, almost turned it back around. Dazzle keeping alive, Demon a little bit longer. Snowball doesn't end up hitting, but there's the Blink away, staying alive yet again. And the Dazzle was able to take out the Spirit Breaker with the Heal Bomb. There's the chop on top of the Winter Wyvern. Looking for Owie. They are going to be able to find him. Mason jump forward. 4 heroes dead. 2 to 8 is the call, and TC can only look on in alarm as he tries to finish off this Aghanim Scepter, but don't know if it's quite going to be enough. Might be too late. Oh my goodness. Alright. Got the Vanguard up on the Axe. Got Bleak with the Cloak. 2,000 gold on this Queen of Pain. Looks to be finishing off that Orchid in just a cool minute here, and Fogged, happy as a clam, even though he's only a level 8 Undying. Now again, you start to think about these lineups and what they're good at. Eventually, DC is going to start to come online. They're going to be able to really apply a ton of pressure early on for HCWP, but if they don't close it out, then they're going to be in trouble, because Ember Spirit late game is still so difficult to deal with, and you've also got the Wind Ranger who's just going to be able to tear you apart potentially. They've got the tools to end the game, but the question is, are they going to be able to actually make use of them? And that's something that only time will tell as we move on further into this game, and potentially into a game 3 if the status quo remains the same. That's a lot of gold swing, though. 10k, both EXP net worth.
Dire's top
Holy
tower is
Jeebus.
under attack.
Aegis is still up on the TA as well. There's the jump forward. Demon trying to catch on that YS. The Orchid reveal. Not quite going to be able to be there in time, though. Spirit Breaker charge. I think YS is going to be fine. Oh, there's the jump forward yet again. Does catch onto him. Sonic Wave, where are you at? Not quite going to come because it's on cooldown. Nice dazzle. Keeping him alive, though. Bulba is going to end up falling here, I do believe. Oh, gets a right click, though. No, never mind. Might two more hits is going to be enough. The orange charge is going to keep him alive. Finally falls to the dazzle. But while this is happening, Justin's pushing on out the bottom lane. Mason and Fogged are here as well. They're hoping to take down this tier 2 tower. That fight recapped much more into the favor of DC at the end of that one. So up in the top lane, Gleek apparently just going to chase away the Ember Spirit. That is very, very disheartening when your Dazzle is able to chase away the Ember. Does look like he's going to be able to dole out a lot of damage to him. Are you kidding me? How is he hitting this hard right now? Doesn't even have the Glimmer Cape up, but the bottom tower did end up falling. Oh my god, and Dazzle is not afraid apparently. He does not care about what's going on. Alright, Justin, Blink Dagger as well as the Deso. Ember's been able to pick on up his drums. There is the Bounty Rune picked up for the TA as well. Mason, Crimson Guard now finished off. See, this is the other problem now if you're the Wind Ranger. Like, you want to be able to do a lot of damage. There's not really any minus armor on your team right now, and there doesn't look to be anytime soon. So what you're going to end up facing into is being able to pop off your Aghanim's upgraded ulti, sure, but you're not going to be able to do enough damage against the damage block that's coming out from the Crimson Guard. It's just such a great item for being able to really, like, look at this. Right now he's got 16 armor as well as being able to have that damage block. 55 damage from each incoming attack. It's absurd. It's so much damage block, and on top of that they've got the weave. They're just so comfortable where they are right now. They have everything that they could possibly need except for the Aegis, which should just expire. Roche respawning in 3 minutes 50 seconds. Alright, Mason, 1600 gold in the bank. Could go for a lot of different things. Let's get his blink interrupted, but the soul rip, making sure that he doesn't get at all really hurt. Justin might be building towards that Yasha next. Wants to make sure that his buyback, not incredibly important this game at this point in time for them, but always good to make sure that you're perfectly comfortable where you are. There's the axe jumping forward, able to catch on to Yawar. The remnant away though, making sure he doesn't end up getting killed. Meanwhile, Aoi is going to be able to just wave away at all of us as he TPs out of there. So nicely done.
Top tower is under attack.
Pushing on out this bottom lane, always nice to have that happen. And this is what they need to do consistently for DC. Just keep the lanes pushed out. Make sure you don't run into a situation, oh, they do spot out the remnant, where you get into a huge fight 5-on-5, because that's the way that they lose this game right now. I mean, obviously, it's sort of, they need to hit a timing with their items, but yeah, he's not going to run it back there. They need to hit a timing with their items where they get something online that is going to be actually able to deal some damage, because that's their problem right now. They have a good amount of catch, but they just don't have the damage that they need. Maybe when the Ember Spirit hits his Battle Fury, they can fight 5v5, but again, I'm just not sure. Kind of feeling like they don't have what they need to make it happen. TC Aghanim Scepter phase boots, as well as the Aquila. Oh, jump forward yet again. Are going to be able to catch on to Aoi, but was able to dodge away from the call by going into snowball form. There's the tombstone drop. Zombies are going to start adding that death lust on top of them. TC's in the area. The sigil, they're going to be dissuaded from going any further into enemy lines. Still 2 tier 2 towers standing for DC. I'm a little bit surprised that we don't see those going down quite yet. I was expecting them to apply a little bit more pressure from HCWP. 11k net worth right now on this TA, and she's going to be going straight for BKB. So playing the very, very, very safe route. Not wanting to get stunned, not wanting to have to deal with it. There are a couple of things that pierce BKB in this lineup, though, so I don't know. Yet again, you are just trying to do whatever you can to keep these lanes pushed out. Like, they're sending back up the Queen of Pain. Probably being able to get an Aghanims would make a big difference here in the future. Just so that way you're able to push back as hard as the enemies are. Hood of Defiance now picked up by the Axe as well. I wonder if he's going to go for a pipe. Is the Crimson Guard the pipe? I think that somebody was picking up mech as well, maybe? Yeah, the Undying is going for the mechanism. Fight up in the top lane. Are going to be able to catch out the Bulba here. Tombstone goes down. Templar Assassin ends up taking out the Winter Wyvern. And now Spirit Breaker kills the Queen of Pain, though, and he's going to pay for his life. So nice little double kill for Justin. And this is sort of the advantage that they need to keep on building here. Taking 2 heroes for 1, while it was the Queen of Pain going down, it's somewhat more worth it now because they can apply a little bit more pressure. The lane is being pushed out top by Bleak. They can move forward and take the tier 2 tower. Blink forward, Desolator up, is going to be able to pop the BKB if he wants. Meld Strike, 1, 2, oh, he needs a third. Is it going to be there? No, because of the shackle. Oh, there's a chance that had he popped the BKB, they might have been able to find him. Do drop down the trap as well, but that's not going to end up connecting. God, that was close. Owie. Dropping really, really low. Oh, man. You end up picking up 1 more Ironwood branch right now as a Templar Assassin, and you kill that hero. That is how close that was, and is going to take the stack off the back of it as well. Just savage. This is the point where Templar Assassin is just so dirty at this 15k EXP lead, 12k gold lead. They are exactly where they want to be, and now that Roche is back up again, they're going to be able to just destroy face with this. Look at Roche fall. Not a whole lot else that you can be saying about that. Right now, even if DC knew about this, they can't contest it, and they actually should. With this ward right here, pretty good vision, and Roche immediately just decimated. Leaving the Aegis on the ground. We do also have the DD that is up on the Templar Assassin. Not opting to use that for pushing high ground, but instead going to be using it to take on out Roshan, which makes sense considering it was, I think that was the one that was about to despawn, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so the top 3 cores at this point in time for HCWP are at the top of the net worth. Everybody else is below them. Dazzle has almost gotten up to the Spirit Breaker as well. And now just waiting for their moment to shine. Mason went on up there, scaring away anybody that might be hanging around this area. And again, just continuing to push on out this top lane. The pipe is going to be the choice for Mason. Taking on down the tier 2 tower. The creeps are coming in behind enemy lines as well. The question is, do they try and go back and defend this, or do they keep the pressure applied? Like, they've got the Aegis. They really want to go for it, I feel like. But at the same time, don't necessarily want to give away a tier 3 tower if they don't have to. So the fortification does end up coming out. Now Justin getting charged on the other side, but just going to leave it alone for now, and they are going to be sending on back the Axe to deal with this. And honestly, there's no way that these 2 heroes up here are going to be able to take down Mason. He is ridiculously tanky right now. He has a ton of magic resistance. He's got a ton of armor. He's got the damage block if he needs to. Like, they're in such firm control of this game right now. This is the move that you have to make as DC. You have to go on out, try and catch somebody, hopefully. Ember Spirit is off to the other side. Fogged is going to be able to potentially find him here. Does start taking some of the Burge damage as well. Fogged might be able to drop Tombstone in a second. We do also have a couple other heroes over here. Demon is going to end up getting shackled. What is that angle? Doesn't matter. Winter's Curse comes down. Now maybe going to be able to find somebody else. We do get the 2-man latch with those chains. This could be the turnaround that they need. Fogged is going to be the one that's not focused first, instead taking out the Dazzle. Smart move, dropped the Tombstone as well, and just like that, 3 heroes dead for nothing. Huge kills for DC. 1,500 gold swing, but again, you're taking a look at a huge deficit that you have to crawl yourself out of. This is the way that you want to start it, though. And Justin, thankfully, oh my god, is he honestly going to do this? Are you kidding me? He is going to go right on in. Mason ends up catching. Oh, TC, we knew you well. 1 more hit might be enough, but the win run keeping him alive, is it going to be enough with the battle hunger? Looks like it might be. Oh, power shot not going to be there. Kill off anybody. You've just got too much damage. Fight recap, another little gold swing. So it's sort of a not necessarily the biggest victory in the world, the fact that they're able to take 3, because at the end of the day they lose their win runner. Top lane again pushed out by this Ember Spirit. He does not want you to be. Maybe an Aghanim Scepter soon. Oh, looks like we're going to be getting a Lincoln's up on the Quap. Wants to play this one very safe again. They feel very comfortable with the situation that they've been able to build themselves into, applying very early pressure. This is what we saw last time as well, and why DC was able to win the game, because they just played a very controlled, somewhat even zen, you could say, manner of Dota, where They weren't overextending, they were making sure they were constantly in a safe position, and only when they felt completely and totally comfortable did they finally go on in for the killing blow. And with one more tier 2 tower here, you kind of get the feeling that it might be relatively soon that they're going to go for that one and then finish off the tier 3 top. All of the lanes are pushed on in. Everspirit doing his very best with the Battle Fury as well to make sure that that ends up happening. Oh, Demon is going to end up getting caught away, but the blink down to the south is going to be fine. Spirit was charging on in there, but not going to be able to find him. All right, ready to go for the mid, actually. They're not even going to go for the top. Pipe is popped. We do also have the damage block in a second if they want to use it. These creeps aren't going to end up dying, and with the creep wave pushed out not completely all the way in the top lane, they're going to be able to take this tier 3 tower, I think. Unless somebody comes up back and defends this really soon, it's going to be a problem. Tombstone is down there by Fogged. They are committed to this one at this point in time. The Wind Ranger's still pushing on up the top lane, but I don't think that they're really going to be able to have enough to contest this. All right, Wind Ranger comes on back. Shackle doesn't end up latching, and Mason is just going to blink away. Justin doesn't take any damage because of the refraction. That's another range rack's gone. Battle Fury still dealing out a lot of damage now. Justin taking some more from the Splinter Blast. The second barracks on the melee is going to fall in a second here if they're not forward. Oh, Yawar wasn't meant to be out. Went in for the blink and trying to save it, but wasn't able to hit it in time. Mason still staying alive after the Shackle. TC just hitting away, but it's to no avail. Oh, Biryu wants to do something. The buyback by the Ember Spirit, doing whatever they can. There's the jump forward, hits onto a couple more with the chains, as well as another Shackle. They're hitting all their spells exactly how they want to, but it looks like this barracks is finally going to fall, and I don't get anything for it. Age is just now reclaimed. He's going to be back up to full life. You take a look at the end of the day, buybacks on the Ember Spirit as well. Huge gold swing, but the big kicker is going to be that barracks down, and oh god, look at the graph. It's going to start really plummeting here. EXP as well, shooting towards that 20k mark. Oh, not what you want to have happen. Justin just going to keep on hitting creeps, getting closer and closer to that Daedalus, and just feels like with every item, it's another nail in the coffin for DC in this game too here. There is still the chance. There's always the chance. You got to believe in the heart of the cards. Make sure that you're able to get out of this match alive. And actually, after the little crit, is going to be going for a Monkey King bar on this Templar Assassin. So wants to be able to get in the face of those Wind Ranger. That's actually kind of a cool little pickup. You're still going to be able to crit and dole out a lot of damage, but you also make sure that you're able to affect the Wind Ranger. Shiva's Guard is going to be the item for the axe now. Dazzle's been able to pick up a medallion. Oh, maybe going to be able to find somebody here. Bulba is still sitting, skulking around the spot. Do end up remning back up top for Yawar. We're not going to be able to find him. And Bulba with the Invis Room is going to run out pretty soon here. He really needs to be able to get out of dodge before he ends up running into somebody. TA is there. Oh, God. Yep, there's the charge away. Don't want to see you here anymore. Bye-bye, buddy. Oh, man.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
DC Blink Dagger now up, as is the Aghanim Scepter, but needs a little bit more damage. This is the point I feel like almost where it's worth it to not even save for buyback and just get something that hopefully is going to allow you to win the fight, because a buyback might not even change the course of the fight. You really need damage on that Wind Ranger. And it's so difficult to make it happen. Honestly, even a medallion might make the difference here, because you need something just to be able to lower that armor a little bit. The most value item you can get probably going to be the Chrysalis. Hitting away, does have the plate mail. And Bleak, meanwhile, as things look bleak for DC. I'm sorry, I had to do it. 25,000 net worth lead for my council. EXP for more story. We do see a big engagement down here in the bottom lane. Templar Assassin does get eviscerated by the 5-man smoke. Looking to see if they can catch further here. Yawar does find Demon, not going to be able to blink away for another second or two. That fight recap was a huge 3,000 gold swing at the end of it. He's going to be able to catch with the shards. He should be able to blink in just a second. Doesn't hit with the chains though. It was on cooldown. So because of that, Demon is going to be able to get away. Was it on cooldown? No, he just actually ended up missing it. A little bit unfortunate. Yawar would have been able to probably find a kill there, but not going to be the case this time around. Solar Crest is going to be the item for the Dazzle. Mason just tanking on up. 31 armor. What a monster. It's just frightening. Oh, Bulba as well. He's starting to tank up as well. He's getting what he needs to be, at least. Alright. Do we have any other ability? I don't think that you can... Well, I was going to say that I don't think the Quap can, like, solo the Ember, but the more that I think about with that Orchid, he probably can. He doesn't have any way to be able to break away from it, and now that he has the little mini crit stick as well, I think that they're going to be in a pretty good spot. Oh, jump forward, able to catch onto the Winter Wyvern. This is really sad. Shiva's Guard popped, but a couple more right clicks might be enough. Ooh, Shackle ends up hitting, but there's the Sonic Wave. That's going to take out Winter Wyvern. She's going to be gone for a little bit now. Do we have any buybacks on her? No buyback on the Winter Wyvern, so dead for 34 seconds. Not going to be enough to push high ground with that. I think that this is the point, if you are High Council, where you just wait for Roche. Maybe you try and take another fight in a little bit here, so that way you're able to secure it for yourself. Any fight that happens outside of high ground, High Council should win. Believe, at least. More right clicks, because why not? It's what he does. It's who he is. Alright. TC trying to build towards the Deso, it looks like, maybe. Oh, this isn't a BKB, is it? No, okay, he's going for the Maelstrom. That makes a lot more sense. I was very confused about that for a second, and that makes a lot more sense now. Alright, did they have enough? Can't Kishuar. It's too hard with the nerf that ended up coming out because of that, with cast point onto Axe's call. It looks like they are going to be looking for a fight. So, 4-man smoke for DC. This is going to leave out... Oh god, there we go. You are in a little bit of trouble. Snowball does keep him alive, though. Really nice play there. Winter's Curse down on top of Demon. He might end up falling, but the Grave, keeping him alive, is going to be able to blink out of there one more time. Again, we do have the DKB pop for Justin. Is going to chase down Owie, and maybe another right click. Not going to be able to hit onto him quite yet. Cold Embrace keeping him alive with the Temporal Size, and ends up killing out the Winter Wyvern. And meanwhile, the Quap is able to jump back and take care of the Tusk all over the map. They're just running to the hills. Don't want to end up getting taken out. Looks like Mason's just going to toss off a Battle Hunger and be content with it. I don't even know if they wait at this point in time. They could just go high ground now. Like, the fact that your Tusk and Winter Wyvern are dead again for another 20 seconds, now they go back for Roche. That's the smarter play. This is why I lose games and these people are pros. So, net worth lead yet again. Buyback status. They're not going to be able to defend this one. Tusk has a buyback, but Winter Wyvern doesn't. They should know what's going on. Want to push out the top lane as much as possible, but again, you have over here to the side Demon, who's going to be picking up the Aghanim Scepter in just a second. Can move on back. They actually leave the Aegis on the ground. A little bit cocky there. No problem. Go back for the cheese. That is going to be on the Axe. Yep. Except the cheese, making sure that he's still alive. And unfortunately, I don't know if any amount of pushing out lanes is going to be enough to stem the flow this time around. High Council really want to take this one, if at all possible. Just look at the amount of damage that Justin is doing with the MKB up as well. He is just very, very much where he wants to be. Did actually get rid of that little... Oh, off to the side. Can they actually make this happen? Demon caught off now. Very nicely done there. Walrus Punch as well as the Shackle and everything else tossed out. But to what end? Yet again, the Tier 3 towers are starting to fall. Maybe this is the beginning of a turnaround, but it's just looking like they're going to miss the lane of Rax. And they just expended all of their ultis to be able to pick him off. We don't have any of those other ones. Mason does end up getting shackled now. Tombstone is dropped. There's the Glimmer Kick to keep him alive. Bulba running through. He's going to be able to catch on to Bleak. He's going to be able to get a Winter's Curse as well, but it's not completely totally mean anything. Mason is just too tanky at this point. There's a jump forward. Bulba trying to do whatever he can. Gets lifted up into the snowball. They're also going to be able to hit on top of Justin, but he is still hitting away here. So freaking strong. TC running away as well. Axe is able to take down the Spirit Breaker. He buys back into the game. Wants to get into the fray yet again if he can, but they've got eyes on the prize. That's going to be one range barracks down as well, charging in on top of the Dazzle. He doesn't have a Glimmer Keep back up. Yes, he does. He ends up using it. Walrus Punch onto Justin is going to get Shallow Grave. Mason reinitiation. Siva's Guard for the second time in this engagement. Able to get away with the Snowball yet again. How many snowballs has Owie thrown? But to no avail. He ends up falling. There is the Shackle. Doesn't connect. Another one is going to be tossed out there. Bulba get burnt down so quickly. Isn't going to be able to hit the dunk, unfortunately. Nice Cold Embrace by the Winter Wyvern. Double kill for Justin, though, and they are exactly where they want. Maybe not. Turnaround. TC doing what he needs to do. Oh, there's the cheese, though. Oh, God, it's back-breaking. Is going to be able to hit another power shot. Nice fortification. It seems like everything is just grasping at straws, though. They're doing everything they can on DC to keep this game alive, but over and over again getting rebuffed. I think that they back out now. Want to keep Justin alive if at all possible. Oh, I don't know if they want to go in after this one. So yet again, another barracks falls. High counts, don't lose anybody. Another reinitiation. Yawar's gonna fall. Sonic Wave on top of several. GG ends up getting called, and it looks like we're gonna be going to game 3 in just a couple of seconds here. Thank you all guys so much for watching. It was an absolute pleasure. Let's take a look at that net worth graph before we head on out of here. Looks like it was tilting out at the 30,000 mark by the end of it. I am going to be right back in just a second. Thank you all so much for watching. Absolute pleasure casting for you guys. And we'll be right back with more of the North American qualifiers for the Summit 4.